It's not new year, new you. It's new year, now you. There's nothing wrong with you. Every year, millions of people set New Year's resolutions and goals only to fail within the first 7 weeks if they even got started in the first place. Today, I'm going to give you the 3-step playbook for achieving your resolutions, goals, or intentions. And we'll talk a little bit about why they failed you in the past and how that won't be a thing anymore going forward. If this is your first time seeing me, I'm Graniel, and I've been a certified mental wellness mentor for nearly 30 years, helping people accomplish their dreams, their goals, their aspirations, and so much more. Will you be next? All right, let's begin. Goals are just resolutions with a perkier name, right? A lot of people go, I don't do resolutions anymore. I do goals. Okay, goals, resolutions, aspirations, dreams, all of that. It's the same for what we're going to be talking about today. It's also important to understand that when you were doing things by the old rules, you were almost doomed to fail. The old rules meaning they needed numbers, they needed timelines, they needed a number on the scale that these things must be accomplished by. And then if they didn't, people just gave up. Like, well, couldn't do that. Another thing is we were told to do it for somebody else. Have the motivation for your kids or something like that. No, it's got to be for you. It has to be for you because you're the one putting in the work. And the other one was, if somebody else can do it, then you should be able to also. It's another terrible rule because you don't judge your success and your purpose and your reason for being here by what other people are accomplishing. Okay, so playbook time. Ready for your 1, 2, 3s? The first step is to look at your goals or resolutions from the past and take off the ones that you just keep rolling over, because I don't mean this negatively when I say you're not going to achieve them again this year. The reason why is because your brain doesn't have, this is the neuroscience, your brain doesn't have a path for success. So even though you want it, the brain doesn't know how to get you there. Okay, so if there is something that you want to bring over, we'll talk about how to do that in just a moment. But for now, if something's been on your list year after year after year after year, unaccomplished, it doesn't deserve to be there again. Okay, so you're looking for taking things off instead of bringing things over. Then, if you're choosing to bring something over, you're going to ask yourself these 3 questions. You're looking at the why and the what. Well, actually, specifically, let's do the why, where, and what. So the why do you want this goal? Dig deep, right? So where is this coming from in an emotional standpoint? And what is it that will motivate you to stay there? You want to really get specific with these questions because that's where the playbook is going to be created. I hope that makes sense. So you're digging into these goals and you're asking these questions so that you can have motivation. You're not picking on yourself. You're not judging anything. It's simply for intel purposes. Okay, then step number 2 is to minimize the goal, meaning if you have a big goal like weight loss, that's a big umbrella goal that's hard to achieve. And you'll say, well, I want to weigh X amount of pounds by this amount of time. It's not going to happen because it's a big macro goal. So you're going to want to take those big goals and chunk them way down. And the best way to do that is to use the 4 pillars. Write this down. You want health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality. Now you can call those whatever you'd like, but you know, as long as they're in that same family. Now, say, for example, one of the biggest goals that people ditch and don't accomplish year after year is weight loss. Now, so instead of weight loss, you're going to chunk that down into what's an action that can get me that. That's not the goal, right? Because you did those other questions earlier. So, walking daily. Now, there's a goal, an inspiration that's doable. Walking daily. And it hits all the pillars. It gets health. It gets wealth because it's free. It gets relationships because if you do it with somebody else, it's quality time. And it's spirituality because if you do it in nature, you're communing with all of that vibration of life. Okay, I hope that makes sense. If not, let's spend a little time together and I'll help you clarify that. Okay, now choose one from each of the pillars and really get focused on it. You know, kind of like how I was saying, look for the crossover, look for the things that they have in common. And Once you do that, now it's just something that you're doing throughout the year. It doesn't have an end because the purpose is for this to just become you. That way you never fall off. That way it's sustainable and it just gets easier over time. Like brushing your teeth. I'm guessing maybe you didn't like that so much when you were a kid and now it's just something that you do, right? And you also know the why. You also know the purpose and the reason for it. All right, now step number 3 is to be thinking about interviewing your goals. Okay, what I mean is how you spend your time and your actions and your energy is important. So interview those goals now to make sure that they're worthy of you. Are those actions worthy of you? Are those actions realistic within the pillars? All of that. So interviewing, you want to, well, actually do the W's again, the who, what, where, when, and how. So we're not doing the why because we did that earlier. So who can help me? Where, what, where has this failed me before and how am I going to flip that script? Where are the tools that I already have to help me accomplish this? When, so now the when isn't a date. The when is more about when can I put this into my daily living? Big difference, right? And the how. The how is how can I get there? Ooh, the who. This one's really important. Who can support me on my journey? The support is really crucial. Okay, and then the how then takes you back to step 1. How am I going to get there? So do you see how these questions keep overlapping and giving you more intel? And that's why you're writing them all down. You're going to start to see a pattern. That's your playbook. That's what a coach does. They see how everybody moves and who does what best. And that creates something that is adaptable, yet gets success. Okay? I'm excited for you to try this. I'm excited to hear about how it's going for you. So what's next? If you didn't write these down, get a notebook that's specific for these. Write them down, adapt them, come up with your playbook. Start with 4 plays, right? Those pillars. And then remember to enjoy the journey. Celebrate the wins, big and small. If they're daily, monthly, or whatever. Ooh, that reminds me. Evaluate them just like you would at work, right? Do a 30, a 60, and a 90-day evaluation because that's a good time to let you know where you can adapt them or ditch them because maybe they're not what you thought. All right, again, I'm El Graniel, and I've been helping people do exactly this for nearly 30 years. Let me help you starting right now. My calendar's below. Please subscribe, like, follow, share. I'm also on Substack and on Instagram. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to keep doing this with you. And I'm excited to also be able to continue to do my purpose, my reason, my pillars. So until I see you again, keep a smile on your face and a song in your heart.